Trudeau's got this carbon tax on the farmers who grow your food, the truckers who ship your food, the grocers who sell your food, which is a tax, therefore, on all who buy the food. He wants to quadruple that tax to 61 cents a liter, which will mean many, many people will go hungry. We've seen our food prices rise 37% faster in Canada over the last 4 years than they did in the United States because they have no carbon tax there. So I will axe the carbon tax.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So you talked about housing, right? Does that also include rent and groceries as well too? Because groceries, I'm a father of 3. And I went to the grocery store the other day and I got 8 items and it came up to almost $100.
Yeah.
Back then, $100 would get you more than that. What's your action plan on tackling the food industry and also rent? Because where I live in a building, a 1-bedroom apartment starts at $2,000. So it's like you're either playing Russian roulette. Do I pay my rent or do I buy groceries? So I just want to know what you plan on doing with that.
Well, let's start with food. First of all, Trudeau's got this carbon tax on the farmers who grow your food, the truckers who ship your food, the grocers who sell your food, which is a tax, therefore, on all who buy the food. He wants to quadruple that tax to 61 cents a liter, which will mean many, many people will go hungry. We've seen our food prices rise 37% faster in Canada over the last 4 years than they did in the United States because they have no carbon tax there. So I will axe the carbon tax to lower the cost of food and fuel. We also have to increase the purchasing power of our money. We're printing cash. Bottom line is we're growing the money supply, which causes inflation. We're printing money to fund irresponsible government spending. If you have an economy with 10 apples and $10, it's $1 an apple. You double the amount of money, $20, but your economy still has 10 apples. You're not twice as rich. It's just that now each apple costs twice as much. That's inflation. Our government has created $700 billion more cash in the last 4 years. That's a 40% increase in the money supply, during which time our output has grown by 4%. So we're growing the money 10 times faster than we grow the stuff that money buys. We have to cap spending and get the central bank back to its job of preserving the purchasing power of our people. Instead of adding more cash, we need to produce more of what cash buys. Grow more food, build more homes, produce more energy by unleashing the free enterprise system, getting off the backs of our farmers. So imagine, back to my analogy, instead of 10 apples, you have 10 apples and $10. Imagine if you doubled the number of apples that you grow. You have 20 apples and $10. Now each apple is 50 cents. We have to produce more of the stuff that money buys rather than creating more cash. The same is true with homes. Right now we don't have enough homes. Why is it that we don't have enough homes? It doesn't make any sense. We have 10 times as much land per capita as the next closest country in the G7. We have the second biggest landmass in the world, and somehow we have the fewest homes. Why? Because we have the worst bureaucracy. It takes 7 or 8 years to get a housing development approved. It takes 3 times longer to get a permit to build a home in Canada as it does in the US or the UK. And then there's the taxes on top of that. So who do you think pays for that? You pay for it. Why is it that your landlord can raise your rent? Because he knows you can't go anywhere. Why? Because there aren't enough homes. If there were more homes and there were vacancies, you go to your landlord and say, hey, I got options. Either you're going to make my rent affordable, or the new apartment complex down the street is going to do it instead. I'm going to pack my things and leave, and I'm going to pay my rent to him. But right now you have nowhere to go because it's impossible for that competitor to build his place. So we have to get the bureaucracy out of the way and let builders build. We built fewer homes last year than we built in 1972, when our population was half the size. Our population was 22 million in 1972. It was 41 million last year. And we built more homes in 1970. It's just insane. So I will be slashing the bureaucracy to speed up permit, free up land. I'll take the GST off new homes so that people save when they buy, and we will build the homes that you can afford. Thank you.